WhatsApp us or you can call us directly. Both the numbers are flashing on your screens right now. And on the show, we are joined by Ravi Singh, SVP Retail Research Religare Broking on the technicals. And our fundamental guest will be joining us shortly. So welcome to the show, Ravi.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Now let's get straight to the first query. Raj has written to us from Tamil Nadu saying that he's bought EIH stocks, 1,550 stocks at 166 a piece, and he's asking, although he's asking for a long-term view, and the reason of him buying this particular stock is because hospitality and tourism industry was flourishing after COVID. But his concern is that, the stock has fallen around 350 levels now. So he's asking whether he should stay in this particular company for long term or should he switch to ITC Hotels? And if he has to switch, so at what price point should he be buying? Ravi, if you can take that one.
Yeah, sure. Ma'am, is made a high of 502 and now is trading at 335. So long-term prospects, it's in a downtrend and it can touch the level of 300 to 280 levels. So this time there is a better strategy. You have to switch your stock at current market price, book your profit here and buy ITC at current market price, because ITC is looking very strong at this point of time. Correction is done and now stock is looking strong and technical are supporting. So the target would be the ITC is 455 to 460 levels in next 8 to 6 months. So that's this point of time, put the stop loss of 380 rupees, switch stocks is a better strategy.
Understood. And Ravi, we have another WhatsApp query. Ehsan has written to us and he is saying that he's comparatively new to investing. And he's saying that if he wants to know if this is actually a good time to invest in the markets, given so many mixed views and opinions on whether or not one should enter. And today I was reading that, a couple of reasons behind the fall or the kind of negativity that we're seeing in the markets at the moment: poor corporate earnings, unambiguous guidance for strong growth, stretched valuations, Trump tariffs and whatnot. So given all this and seeing this, trepid context that we have of the markets, do you think an investor that is relatively new should enter at the moment?
See, ma'am, if you follow a reel or YouTube videos or something like that, then it's very dangerous for the market investment, right? So this, I suggest better place. You have to this program. Ask Profit is a very good program. Here you can discuss this type of serious interest that what you want to invest, right? So what I suggest, market is still in downtrend, but market still has some opportunities, right? So you approach in a right way. So this point of time, for new investor, definitely there is an opportunity that whatever stock you think they are in discounted about to 40 to 50%, right? Fundamental are same. Let me talk a practical. Maybe earnings are bad in this quarter, but next quarter we may expect some earning positive. So this type of situation. So I suggest, if you want to invest 10,000 rupees in this market, then this is the right time where you invest only 30,000 rupees. Yani that means 30% fund you should invest at this point of time, and you have a large opportunity. That means in large cap, small cap, mid cap, make a basket of 25 stocks, choose 5 sector, at least minimum 5 sector, and all these sectors is take single sector is 5 stocks. So this type of strategy would run tremendously. So I think better you take concern and do investment at current market price, but cautious. 30% is this point of time. After 3 or 6 months, you invest 30-40%, and so you divide your principal amount in next 6 to 8 months in 3 portion and invest. Definitely, you get more than expected return.
Right, understood your point, Ravi, and I was actually coming to that. If you had to suggest 5 companies to invest in, given the current market scenario, would you be able to give us a couple of names?
ma'am, I'll suggest 5 sector and choose 5 sector top companies. For example, I'll talk about a auto, choose Maruti. I'll talk about a power, choose Tata Power or Power Grid. I'll suggest in IT, choose IT stocks. That means Mahindra and Mahindra, Tech Mahindra or Infosys. I'll suggest another pharma sector, choose Cipla. And another sector, if I'll choose, for example, a banking counter, choose SBI. So this kind of stocks, they have a more potential, but strategically you should invest whatever I have told you.
All right, so that's the view coming in. With that, we have another caller from Chennai. Hi, Venkat. Good evening.
Yeah, hi, good evening.
How can we help you, Venkat?
Yeah, I have 320 shares of Ashok Leyland at the price of 126.
Right.
Can I accumulate more for a long-term investment?
And when did you buy it exactly?
Maybe I'm accumulating for the past 1 year.
Past 1 year. All right.
Yeah.
Because, Ashok Leyland just came out with its Q3 earnings also. Net profit was up 36%. Revenue was also up 8.4%. EBITDA was up 20.8%. So those were some decent numbers there. Ravi, what do you have to say for Ashok Leyland?
Yeah, a strong fundamental and a strong consolidation also. So I'll suggest whenever this stock is near to 200 rupees, right now is trading at 217 rupees. Whenever you get opportunity 200, 205, recent days we have seen this price, right? So 210 to 200 is a very strong level where you can invest and earn more profit, because this stock long-term target is 240, but it will take time, 8 to 10 months. So in 1 year prospects, 20% return, I think this stock have a potential. So please do average, don't leave this stock. In fact, the new investor is also can invest at this level.
Got it. And now we have Kamal joining us on the phone line from Indore. Hi Kamal, good evening.
Yeah, hello, good evening. So my question is regarding Nippon Asset Management. So I bought around 150 shares at the rate of 750.
Okay.
So my time horizon is close to 1 year. So can I add more quantity on this, or should I keep it whatever I bought?
Okay, and when did you purchase these shares at 750?
Around 3-4 months before, when the September was out.
Okay.
So it was, overall result was good last I think 3-4 quarters. So that's why I bought this share.
Got it, understood. Ravi, what's your view on Nippon? Kamal holds 150 shares at 750 a piece. The stock is currently trading around 550, has fallen close to 14% in the last 6 months. What's your 1 year view looking like?
Ma'am, in fact, I had Nippon Life and SDFC MC I also cover, because these stocks have a clear cut in downward channel, right? So this is the time where you should take some action, and action is only exit, because this stock Nippon, you may see 500 below 500 level, about to 460 to 480 levels. So please take exit, but I'll suggest 1 or 2 stocks at this point of time you can buy also. Number 1, you can add SBI Life if you have a long-term vision, or there is one stock is Tata Power. So this point of time, these 2 stocks have a more potential, but definitely in this point of time, you should exit at least this below stocks 500, because now trend is down.
All right, so that's the view coming in. Now, with that, we have a caller from Kerala. Hi, Kanan. Good evening.
Yeah, hi. Good evening.
Yes, how can we help you?
So my query is regarding Deepak Nitrite. So
Yes.
I hold 41 shares at an average price of 1,900.
Right.
So its Q3 results are due in a few days, and the analyst estimations are that it could not be that good.
Mm-hmm.
So would it be wise to sell this and enter maybe a Varun Beverages, which is now trading at a good price to entry?
Right. So are you looking for a short-term view?
Yes.
Okay. So Ravi, I'm sorry. Till now, there were all fundamental queries that you were answering. So this is your query now. Please take it away, Deepak Nitrite.
See, if I'll compare with the pair trading firm and Varun Beverages and another stock, both chart are literally same and correlation is about to same. So I'll suggest you wait some time because below 2100 I can say that this stock is in a strong downward channel, but this point of time Deepak Nitrite or Varun Beverages both are trading in a same chart pattern, so I think you should wait for some time, and the next target would be the 2400 to 2450 levels. So strictly put the stop loss of 2100. If cross 2100, then you take exit and buy Varun Beverages, because Varun Beverages is also in a downward channel and it may go up to 450 levels, right? So I think in below support level. So wait for some time, but yeah, definitely in next week you should ask again in Ask in Profit, so that we will suggest again.
Got it. And now we have Vishwas on the phone line from Mysuru. Hi, Vishwas. Good evening.
Hi, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Ma'am, KPIT Technology, 300 stock, average price 1,500.
Okay.
5 month buy, ma'am, stock. Ivaga seller hold, ma'am. 3 months in the consolidation, ma'am.
Okay, got it. So Ravi, what's your view on KPIT Technologies? Vishwas holds 300 shares at 1,500 apiece, and he's sitting on a loss at the moment. And plus, the stock also has seen a beating of close to 23% in the last 6 months. Is it a good stock to remain invested in, even if it is from a short-term perspective?
Malika ma'am, actually every stock is in good at this level, but the sentiment is not good, right? So in the starting program, you have speak about the 5 points that overall market, why is market is not performing. So consider that point. I can say that do one thing, you just patiently sit this stock, put the stop loss of 1200 rupees. If breach 1200 rupees or touch 1200 rupees, you ask again. Till the time you should invest in this stock, you should wait this stock, and at least this upward will come, but it will take 6 to 8 months more. So patience is very important at this point of time. So please consider the patience, sit with the stock, choose your stop loss is 1200 rupees. Once it's breached, then you ask again.
Right, so that's the view coming in. With that, Munir is calling us from Chennai. Hi Munir, good evening. How can we help you?
Good evening, madam. Good evening, madam.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I'm holding 100 shares of Lupin Limited
Okay.
at the price of 2,130.
Right.
Recently, the result was also very, very good.
Yes.
But the morning the stock went up, and but the closing it went down gradually. So I just want to know the short-term outlook of this share.
Okay.
So is it advisable to average it at the current price level?
Yeah, because you're sitting on a loss of almost 8,000 there is what I can see. So, Ravi, today the stock was although up by over 1%, but it's currently trading at 2,055 levels. He bought it at 2,130. So is it advisable for Munir to stay invested in it for another, let's say, 3 to 4 months?
In fact, 1 month is sufficient for the same target. So I can suggest, please hold. Stock is good. Don't panic. Don't listen anyone. Don't go to see any reel or Insta or something like that. Stock is good. Fundamental is good. Chart is good. So please wait. The next target would be the 2,400 in next 6 months.
Got it. And Ravi, do you hold the same opinion about other pharma counters as well? Because as I mentioned, because of Trump tariffs, pharma space seems to be in a little scared. I don't know what could the impact exactly be, but still there is caution around that area.
Yeah, ma'am. Basically, the overall market is in panic situation. That's why we have seen some correction. So maybe pharma sector may be corrected by 2 or 3%, but don't panic at this point of time, because all the pharma sector like Sun Pharma, Jyoti Lab, Aarti Drugs, Divi's Lab, and Cipla, Wockhardt Pharma, they are in strong fundamental at this point of time, right? So better to wait in these stocks and don't cut that in this panic situation.
Got it. So the moral of the story is to not be scared and to not panic and to stay patient. Venkat is joining us on the phone line from Tirupati. Hi Venkat, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Please ask away your question, Venkat.
Ma'am, I have 50 shares of DAM Capital.
Okay.
Bought at the price of 395.
Okay.
Now it's almost 265.
Right.
I want to buy some more. Is it the right time to buy or wait for some more time?
Understood. Ravi, although this stock listed on the stock exchanges quite recently in December, and I'm sure you might not have a lot of technical data to analyze it with its full potential, but what is your view on DAM Capital? What bothers me about the stock is that it has seen sharp cuts and has been on a downward trend. In fact, has fallen close to 20% in the last 1 month itself. And if you look at the ROE and the ROCE, they're quite high. So given that the stock has had such a short time on the stock exchanges and has been able to deliver as much as 55.9% ROE, does that bother you?
Yeah, definitely, ma'am, because the ROE is very high, and I can say that the moral of the story, I want to say that DAM capitalists, you should dump this stock because I don't think so. They have a more potential to go upside, but it still is a downtrend and it will achieve the target of 200 rupees. So better to take exit. Don't wait for long term at this stock. But yes, they have some stocks have a more potential. So do buying in a pharma sector or whatever stocks we have discussed here, but DAM Capital should exit.
So that's a strong view on DAM Capital by Ravi. He's suggesting that you should sell it right away. With that, we have a caller from Bengaluru. M. Venkateshwar Rao is calling us. Hello.
Hello, madam. Good evening, madam.
Good evening. How can we help you?
Madam, I have bought Security Industries, madam.
Right.
Around 44.50. Around 2 months back, madam.
Okay. So are you looking for a long-term view?
Long-term basis, madam.
And why did you?
Because now.
Yeah.
Yes, madam. Tell me, madam.
I was asking that why did you opt for this particular company?
Madam, actually, it's the public issue has come around last 3 to 4 months back only. My friend has strongly recommended this one. That's why I purchased it.
Okay.
I think the fundamentals are also good. In this weak market also, now it is moving around 50 rupees, madam. That's a big thing for me. That's why I wanted to know whether I can accumulate at this stage.
Right.
Can I hold it for a long time? That's
Okay. So Ravi, since Sedulity is one of the small cap funds, that has started bucking up. So what do you have to say about this particular company?
See, ma'am, at the listing point of time, we are suggested that book your profit at this point of time. I'll suggest also you have 5,000 rupees. So book your 5,000 rupees profit. Wait for some time. This stock is in profit booking zone and you may see 42 or 40 levels again. And for long-term investment, I'll suggest a strategy that book a profit at this point of time and wait for some time. If you want to invest, when it come at a 42 or 43 levels, then invest only the 20 or 30%. This is not right time to do the average. So better book profit.
Got it. And now we have Suresh joining us on the phone line from Karnataka. Hi, Suresh.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Dr. Suresh. I bought Glenmark Pharma at 1,606 rupees, 200 shares.
Okay.
I really don't know whether to switch over to, on a short-term to mid-term basis. I really don't know whether to now switch over to some other company or hold patiently for a long time for it to bounce back. Please advise me.
Got it. Ravi, this is an interesting one because we were just talking about Lupin some time back and you said it's the right time to stay patient right now, especially given the market scenario. And we have another pharmaceutical counter to your perusal. What is your view on Glenmark? The stock has not been performing too well. And Suresh initially had bought these stocks for a short-term view. Now he is confused whether or not to exit or to hold.
Ma'am, actually, Glenmark Pharma and Cipla and Dr. Reddy's charts are correlated with the about 0.8% of the correlation, and that means 80% correlation. So all stocks are in some profit booking, but overall stocks structure is good. So don't panic, sir. Give some time more and achieve some more returns also. So please stay in this stock, and if you want to add, then add also Cipla and Sun Pharma also.
All right, so stay invested in Glen Pharma is what Ravi is suggesting. Now we have a caller from Hyderabad. Hi Ramesh, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Yes, please go ahead with your query.
I'm trying to buy Coal India and NTPC at current levels. Is it a good time to buy?
Okay, and why only these particular companies?
Because Coal India is the only source for us, right, for coal, and NTPC is thermal power station, right? So the coming summers, right, next 5-6 months it will be huge power consumption, and that would help us, right? So that is the reason I'm trying to.
Right. I'm glad that you have done your bit of research there. So it's very nice to know when the investors know that what they are doing and where they are investing. So Ravi, if you can just help our viewer understand whether he should invest in Coal India or NTPC.
Yeah, 100%. These stocks have more potential to do positive average. So this point of time, 100% you should invest. Earlier, I told you the strategy is simple strategy. 100. If you have a 10,000 rupees, invest in a 30%. But I can say that in these stock, you can invest 70% of fund of this both two stocks. That means if you have a 10,000 rupees, do 3,500 to 3,500 both the stocks and invest in 70%. When it come below about 350 levels Coal India, then do some more average whatever you have fund, and in NTPC 290 is the best level. So you can't predict the bottom, but this point of time you should invest in these stocks.
All right, and with that, we are joined by Lancelot Dacuna, CIO ValueX Wealth Connect, with us on the fundamentals. Welcome to the show, Lancelot.
Good evening.
Good evening. So, we were discussing about NTPC and Coal India. So, I'd like to come to you. How are the fundamentals of these two companies looking like?
So I think NTPC fundamentals are better than Coal India, because Coal India is, the prices are determined based on the import prices to an extent, as well as, because of the supply, there is an issue as far as the, long-term pricing contracts is concerned. So NTPC would be in a better position from a fundamental point of view. Looks like it would be better to buy NTPC rather than, Coal India.
Got it. And now we have Zach calling in from Bangalore. Hi, Zach.
Hi, ma'am.
Please ask away your question. How can we help you?
Yes, I was looking at accumulating ITC Hotels from now on. Is it a good time to do that, or should I wait for some time?
Okay, Zach, do you hold any shares of ITC at the moment?
No, nothing at all.
Okay, and why does ITC interest you, if I may ask?
I'm talking about ITC Hotel.
ITC Hotels, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Because it's just newly listed. It's, I think, 35,000 crore market capital, number 2 after Indian Hotels.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of upward potential, I believe. So,
got it.
That's why I thought I should look into that share.
Understood. Okay, Lancelot, what is your take on ITC Hotels? Are you positive about the hospitality space, and does it look like a good stock to invest in, given that it has just debuted on the stock market?
So I think, ITC Hotels market cap is about 39,000 crores, as 190 hotels, and, is the second largest chain as far as the hotel is concerned. But if you look at the valuations, it's probably trading at a little bit of a premium over, let's say, the valuations for a company like Indian Hotels. So you look at, typically hotels are valued on the basis of EV by EBITDA, and it's trading at almost 30 to 40% premium over Indian Hotels, traditional EV by EBITDA. So I would suggest that, while the business is looking good, growth is very strong, because the demand for hotels and tourism sector is very strong, and you should see room revenues also increasing. the valuations, it would be better to wait for maybe a 10-15% drop in price and then look at accumulating. Then your, let's say, margin of safety is a lot higher than buying it at this current point of time.
All right. So that's a view coming in. With that, we have a caller from Bihar. Hi, Aniket.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, good evening. How can we help you?
Hi. So I bought 52 shares of Tata Motors at price of 1100 rupees.
All right.
Should I hold it or sell it?
And why did you choose Tata Motors in the first place, if I may ask?
Yeah. So we heard so much news about EVs coming in, and Tata Motors is the leader in EV.
Yes.
So I thought this might be a good call.
Yeah, because recently, Tata Motors came up saying that, they are about to set up 4 lakh charging points across India, including 30,000 public charging stations by 2027. So, Lancelot, considering all these updates, what do you have to say on this particular company for long term?
Tata Motors is not really only an India play. It is almost 70 to 80% of its revenues as well as its profits come from global market operations, which is basically the Jaguar Land Rover business. So effectively, the valuation of this company, a lot of it depends on how JLR is doing. And if you see globally, China has been a market where it's struggling. Even in the US markets, it's not really getting traction in terms of large number of sales as well as, growth in sales as well as growth in profits. So given that background, one should be a little cautious, because when you consider that the future outlook is likely to be challenging, then it doesn't justify the higher PE multiple. Even on the India business, while at the moment Tata Motors is the leader in EVs, there are a lot of companies which have also launched their EV products, whether it is Mahindra has recently launched. So that EV space is going to become more competitive, and that competitive intensity increasing is only going to put pressure on margins as well as volumes for Tata Motors. So given that background, I think if one has to, buy the stock, one has to wait for maybe a further correction, another 10, 12, 15% correction, then valuations would become reasonable. At that point of time, one could consider the downsides are all being priced in.
All right. So that's a view coming in on Tata Motors. Now, with that, we'll have to slip into a short break, viewers. Keep sending in your queries on WhatsApp and call in right away. We'll be right back for Ask Profit. Stay tuned to NDTV Profit.
भाषण सुना, उसके बाद मेरा पहला एक्रोनिम निकाला मैंने, वो था RRR, रिस्पॉन्सिबल, रिफॉर्मिस्ट, और मैंने कहा रिवॉल्यूशनरी। हाउ डिड यू अराइव एट दिस नंबर ऑफ 12 लाख रुपीस?
हमें लगता है टैक्स पेयर उस लेवल नंबर से टैक्स भर रहा है, क्या उनको हम कुछ कर सकते हैं?
प्राइवेट सेक्टर कैपेक्स अभी तक वो इन्वेस्ट क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं, जबकि आपका इकोनॉमिक सर्वे ही बताता है कि वो कैश पाइल पे बैठे हुए हैं।
अगर कंजम्पशन बढ़ता और उसके तहत लगता है कि ग्रेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट का पॉसिबिलिटी है, वो भी अच्छा ट्रिगर हो सकता है।
एआई बहुत तेज़ी से आ रहा है, तो जॉब के चैलेंजेस होंगे, स्किल के चैलेंज पहले से हैं, तो जो ट्रांजिशन पीरियड का स्ट्रगल है, नौकरी मुझे अभी चाहिए।
पूरे साल का एक्सपोजर दिलाने के लिए हम इंटर्नशिप प्रोग्राम ले आए, और इसके साथ
Hello and welcome back, viewers. You're watching Ask Profit only on NDTV Profit. We're being joined by Lancelot Tikuna on the fundamentals today, and Ravi Singh is here to answer all your technical queries. So don't forget to call us on the numbers flashing on your screen. And let's head straight to our first caller right after this very short break. Rajesh is joining us on the phone line from Karnataka. Hi, Rajesh. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Please ask away your question.
Ma'am, I bought Ircon International at the price of 320, okay?
Okay.
So, can I hold it or is it time to average?
And since when do you hold on to these shares, Rajesh?
From last 6 months, I am holding.
Okay, okay. And when you bought these shares, did somebody recommend them to you or did you read about them?
Yeah, by that time, there was a hype created like railway share. There was good news for railway shares.
Right, right.
Because of that,
I got your question.
this one. Yeah.
Understood, understood. Lancelot, what is your take on Ircon International? The company is involved in railway construction and highways, etc. So it's a capex-driven company. However, as Rajesh mentioned that 6 months back, there was a lot of chatter about railway stocks and so much confidence in capex-oriented stocks. But now that, government's allocation towards capex hasn't changed pretty much and the narratives, it looks flat, not very confident, I would say. Stocks seem to be shaking a bit. What is your take on Ircon?
So I think, most of these stocks had run up, on the basis of anticipating huge orders going forward. And what we have been seeing is that while the government has announced that it will, continue to give orders, the quantum of the orders may be a little bit lower than anticipated. But if you really look at it, the stock is trading at a 20 times multiple. Now, for a construction company or a project engineering company, focused on one major segment, I think that valuation still is on the higher side. And maybe one could wait for another 20-25% dip, and then it would become fairly attractive at that level. So if one is to look at adding into this company, one should look at lower price points and then look at adding.
Okay, so what is your prime reasoning behind the stock price falling for Ircon? Is it because of high order books and that taking time to materialize, or is it something else?
So I think it's the order books, the rate at which the order addition is expected to happen will be slower than what it was in the past year. And the market has been actually factoring in a very high rate of order addition as well as, completion of orders. All these orders also take longer than expected in terms of implementation. And that has to get factored into the financial results and the performance of the company. So while the growth in orders going forward may also taper off the rate of growth in orders, the actual execution also has to improve at least by 30-40% for the revenues to grow. And I think that will become a little bit of a bottleneck. So we need to see how the management is able to resolve the situation and then turn it around. So given that expectations were very high, valuations were also very high. Now that expectations are getting tapered down to reality, I think valuations will become more reasonable, and then one can definitely look at adding on the stock to a portfolio.
So that's the view coming in on Ircon by Lancelot. So we have a caller from New Delhi. Hi, Chandan. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, ma'am.
Yes, how can we help you?
My query is regarding Capacite Infra Projects Limited.
Right.
Currently, I am holding 500 shares at buying price of 360.
Mm-hmm.
And considering recent market correction, is it right time to build?
Yeah, because it's currently also hovering. You've bought at 360. Currently, it's hovering around 362. So it's around the same, number there. And
yes.
Although the stock was up 3% today, are you looking for a short-term view on it?
Yes, my horizon is 2 to 3 months.
2 to 3 months. All right. Ravi, are you positive on Capacite Infra project for 2 to 3 months?
Not now, ma'am, because chart structure is not good. So better 1,000 rupees, you should book profit, because I think you may see the target of 320 to 300 levels. Once it achieve the target of 320 to 330, then you can enter again, but not this point of time. So book profit.
Okay, so you should book your profits on this company. CP Malhotra is joining us on the phone line from Delhi. Hi, CP Malhotra. Please please ask away your question.
My question is, I have bought 10,000 shares of Canara Bank at the rate of 117. What is future for 1 year?
And when did you purchase these shares of
After
Canara Bank?
splitting, 3 or 4 months back, splitting is done by Canara Bank, then I bought.
Okay, okay. And do you want a long-term perspective on this one or a short-term view?
More than 1 year.
More than 1 year. Okay. Lancelot, why don't we take this one to you? CP Malhotra from Delhi holds 10,000 shares of Canara Bank at 117 apiece, and he's sitting on a massive loss at the moment. And he invested into these shares just around the split when it happened. The price also does not look very attractive. Do you think it's just a discounted price at the moment, or there is actual pain behind the price fluctuation that we're seeing in the stock?
So, when the company announced its results, you saw that, there has been an increase in their, in the income, but the net interest margins were impacted for this quarter, and the outlook also going forward might take a quarter or two before it begins to show some improved, earnings. And if you look at the valuations also, the stock had moved up considerably, so valuations are also a little bit elevated at this point in time. So there can be, one should look at it that rather than paying a higher valuation for a bank that's performance is on an average, it may be better to move to banks where you are getting better valuations in the private sector space. And so it would be a good opportunity to maybe move out of Canara Bank rather than holding on to it and hoping that it does well, and move to maybe banks like ICICI, HDFC, and Axis, where you could see further, upside even in the next 1 year with a much more greater certainty.
Right, right. So that's a sell on Canara Bank for the long term. So with that, we have a caller from Bengaluru. Hi, Sanjay. Good evening.
Hi, ma'am.
How can we help you, Sanjay?
Ma'am, Motilal was all 1,500 stock. Average price 675. 1 month consolidation, ma'am. 3 months short term, ma'am. Sell or extra share buy, ma'am.
Right, because I can see that you are sitting on a loss of 43,000 there. In the last month, you're looking for a short-term view, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So, Ravi, in the last 6 months, although the stock is up 10%, over 10%, in fact, but, when it reported its Q3 results, so net profit was down 14.4%. So, do you see this reflecting, in the charts as well? Is it advisable for him to stay invested for another 6 months?
See, overall structure is now looking weak, but I can say that put the stop loss of 620 rupees and you can consider. But my suggestion is that once it achieves the target of 680, you should exit, but put the stop loss. So this is the good strategy. If stop loss is not triggered, then definitely target will achieve.
Okay, and now we have Rohit from Bangalore joining us on the phone line. Hi, Rohit. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, my query is regarding Aster DM Healthcare. I'm holding 1,000 shares at around 525.
Okay.
I've been holding from the last, I think, 1 year.
Okay.
And I'm looking to hold it for another 4 to 5 years. So I think it was relatively insulated in the ongoing correction until very recently. Just now it has started slipping. So will I be advised to hold it for a long time, or should I exit?
Understood. Got it. Lancelot, I will take this one to you. Rohit holds 1,000 shares of Aster DM Healthcare at 525 apiece. The stock is currently trading around 430 levels. And as he mentioned that 1 year back, around April, the price was hovering around 519 or so. It saw a steep fall after that and since then has been gradually recovering on the stock market in different cycles. Now, it did see some kind of downtick and has been gradually seeing that kind of downtrend continue from 6th of Jan onwards. What do you think is happening with the stock at the moment?
While the business remains relatively stable, I think the expectations of growth have been tapered down, post their results. And now what we are seeing is that even at this particular price, it's trading at a 81 times multiple, which is a very expensive valuation for a company in that space. So I think given that expensive valuations, one needs to, either exit and book loss and wait for it to come to reasonable valuations, or the time horizon you'll have to hold it for to generate any kind of reasonable returns will have to get extended, beyond 4-5 years, and then you will get returns which are average at best, given the high entry, valuation that one has entered into. So I think the choice is between exiting and booking, what are profits or losses, and waiting for the share to actually correct, significantly from here. And then when the valuations become reasonable, one can look at buying it into and keeping it in the portfolio.
Lancelot, I just want to understand this and for clarity purpose. So I observed that you have been pegging premium valuations of a couple of stocks as a reason for them, as a reason for not entering at this given point of time, because valuations are expensive. We have been talking about it, but are there any pockets in the stock market where valuations are reasonably well placed for market participants to enter? Because of course valuations overall are expensive, but are there any pockets where it is reasonable at the moment?
Yes, I think if one looks at maybe the large capital goods companies, like Siemens, ABB, market valuations have corrected significantly from their highs. And if you look at the business results, they have shown improvement in their business operations. So here the valuations are becoming reasonable. And, even if you compare it with the, let's say, the 5-year, trailing average multiple, PE multiple, it's still within the range that it was trading within that average multiple. So companies like Siemens, ABB are looking reasonable. Even Larsen and Toubro at this point in time, given that they have a 74 crore, order book, and they're getting a lot more orders from the Middle East, as well as, their businesses picking up even on the domestic side. So considering the valuations, I think a lot of these companies are attractively valued. So in the large cap space, you will get a couple of companies which, a good number of companies where valuations have corrected and they are looking reasonable. So one can accumulate some of these spaces. It is where in the mid and small cap space, where you have seen, a huge run up in the stocks, there still would be some amount of pain left in terms of downside before valuations become reasonable. Because in an economic downturn, the smaller companies will get affected, much higher than, let's say, larger companies.
Absolutely right. Thanks for that view there. We have a caller from Bengaluru. Let's go across to her. Hi, Chandra.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
For taking my call.
Yes, please go ahead with your query.
Yeah, I have shares of 7,000 shares of SpiceJet.
Right.
At the average price of 86, holding from almost 3 to 4 years now.
Yes.
So my query is whether I can accumulate at this stage and exit in with any bounce, or should I hold it for long term, let's say 3 to 4 years?
Yeah, because I can see you're sitting on a significant loss of almost 3 lakh rupees there. Lancelot, coming to you, if we talk about last 1 year, it has just peaked in September and since then it has been declining. And I think Chandra has bought at really elevated levels of 86 because currently it's, trading at 45. But do you see it, recovering and crossing these levels in the near future?
Yeah, I think the issue with SpiceJet is not really the industry. The industry is growing. If whether you look at, Indigo or you look at the other Air India, there is more scope. It's a question of, the financial management of the company, its ability to raise resources and deploy its aircraft, at reasonable rates. Given that, they are struggling as far as the, raising of finances is concerned, as far as being able to put, more aircraft in the air and get pilots, etc., on the space. It is becoming rather difficult for this company. And unless there's a significant change or there is some permanent change in the financing structure of the company, it's very difficult to see any kind of major improvement. Because as of now, in the next maybe 2 years or 1 year, you will see a buoyant airline market. But once the airline market starts to correct, the fundamentals of the company, if they haven't improved by then, it's going to be very, very difficult. And you could see this go down, even further from here. So I would say that, even as Warren Buffett said, if you want, you should avoid companies that airline industry can be very brutal, especially when competition creeps in. So it's best to avoid it at now, maybe liquidate and look for other opportunities.
Okay.
Okay, got it. And now we have another caller, Tarun, joining us on the phone line from Ranchi. Hi, Tarun. Okay, Tarun, can you please decrease the volume of your television so that we can hear you properly? Okay, there seems to be some audio issue. Can I take his query? Okay, got it. So Tarun had actually called us to know about Hindalco Industries. Hindalco, he holds 200 shares at 590 a piece. He's sitting on a profit of close to 2.5K. And the stock has not done badly. Plus, its Q3 results, it did show quite a lot of revenue growth from the India business. Lancelot, what is your view on Hindalco Industries?
So I think Hindalco, did come out with good numbers. And even the outlook looks a lot better. There could be some pain in terms of short-term, outlook because global prices may correct further. But if you really look at it, its main business is India-centric. And the demand for aluminium and other products from India is growing. So I think one should be able to look at this as you're buying into this company, maybe at the lower end of its commodity cycle. So to that extent, you can accumulate the stock, and when the cycle turns, I think you will get far higher returns going forward. So definitely one can look at buying into the stock even at these levels.
All right, so that's a buy on Hindalco at these levels. With that, we have a caller from Bengaluru. Hi, Setu, good evening.
Good evening to you, madam. Actually, I would like to invest about 1 lakh rupees in the stocks now.
Okay.
Is it the right time to enter now? And if so, then what are the stocks that I can buy?
Right.
It is about more than 1 year, long term.
Yeah. And have you narrowed down any sectors?
No. Everything is fine with me.
Okay. So, Lancelot and Ravi, I'd like to come to both of you. What are your top picks and what do you suggest Setu? Because he has 1 lakh corpus with him. So, where should he be investing?
So I think if you look at the reduction in fall in prices of some of the FMCG companies like Nestle, Marico Industries, they have come out with results which are reasonable, and the outlook is definitely improving over the next 2 quarters. Maybe in the second half of FY 25-26, you should see some improvement or significant improvement coming back into this space. So these are some of the companies where valuations are attractive, the quality of the companies are good, their businesses are solid, the return on equity is good. So one can look at, buying into some of these companies, including, for example, ITC. ITC has corrected significantly, and while its FMCG business may not have grown as much as as expected, I think the cigarette business still remains strong and is the major cash earner for the company. So going forward, now that the overhang of the hotel company is out, one can look at benefiting from the upside in ITC, as well as there may be a couple of other demergers on the paper business and the other business which can then become separate listed entities, and that would unlock the value in ITC. So I think company like ITC, Hindustan Lever, Nestle, these are ones that can be accumulated at this point in time because valuations are reasonable and upside could be significant from here.
Right. And Ravi, what are your topics for short term?
So three stock talk about HUL, ITC and Nestle. I think 10,000 rupees he can divide in 10 stocks. Three stocks is here. Four is Ashok Leyland. Fifth is Power Grid. And sixth is SBI. And seventh is SAIL. And eighth is PTC. And nine is Bank of Baroda. And 10th SBI.
Great. You've given us a good bucket of stocks. I think, Setu, your question has been answered very nicely there. Malika, you would like to take another caller?
Yes, a bumper list of stock picks, I must say. Kailash is joining us on the phone line from Kerala. Hi, Kailash. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, Kailash. What's your question?
I have 1,500 Birlasoft at the rate of 400.
Okay.
Now, tell me about this company prospects for next 3 years.
Okay. Should I first know about the company from you because you invested in the company?
Yes, I invested this over a period of 1 year.
Okay, okay. And did somebody recommend this to you or did you read anything about it particularly?
Partially, my stock broker has recommended accumulation. And yeah.
Understood.
And I am pretty experienced also.
Okay. So firstly, congratulations. You're sitting on a good amount of profit and we'll ask our experts if you should book them or you should continue holding on to the shares of Birlasoft. Ravi, I would take this question to you. Kailash holds 1,500 shares of Birlasoft at 400 rupees a piece. The stock has not performed well recently in the stock market simply because Q3 results did not look very promising. Brokerages have been cutting their target price, seeing, like weak revenue, weak EBITDA, and, the pain in the IT space has also been quite prevalent across the board, across the pack. Do you think Birlasoft, going ahead from that perspective, is a good company to remain invested in, or should Kailash book at least a small portion of his profits that he has made?
The stock has shown their correction, right? So this point of time, I don't think so book profit because the bottom out facing is start and now very strong support at 500 to 480 or 490 levels. So give some time more and the stock have a potential to achieve 680 to 700 levels in 1 year. So I can suggest just wait and watch. Just see you increase your profit. So I think best strategy is hold at point of time.
All right. Now let's go across to one more caller from Gurgaon. Hi, Amar.
Hi.
Good evening. How can we help you?
Yeah, I have Angel 1.
Okay.
170 stock at the rate of 2789.
Right.
What can I expect in next 6 months?
Because you are sitting on a loss of almost 81,000
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, right.
are you looking for a short-term view on it?
No, I can hold it for 6 months.
For 6 months. Okay. So Lancelot, I'll come to you. How are the fundamentals of Angel 1 looking like?
So, one is, just wanted to point out that 6 months really is not a long term. It is more of a short term, but I'll give you the fundamentals. I think if you look at this business, they are one of the premium brokerage houses with a very good platform that provides, app-based digitized broking. And there have been significant increase in the number of people using the, the phones for their broking transactions. And so in a platform business, once you've invested in the infrastructure, and you cross the relevant number of users which are generating revenue, then all additional income actually flows directly to the bottom line. So I think the business model is very good. Angel is one of the top brokers in the space. And given that the number of demat accounts is increasing, the number of young people taking to trading using their phone is also increasing month on month. You will see this company grow, but you need to give it time. It might not happen in the 6 months, maybe a year or two, if one is willing to wait, one can get very good returns from this stock.
Okay, so not a very short-term view, but quickly for 6-month view, Ravi, do you see the stock reaching 2,700 levels?
See, ma'am, the market situation for all broker is now very poor. The brokers are down. So I think in 6 months, we can see some more correction, not upside. So below 2,000 level, you can see that. But yeah, little bit pull back, but around to 2,450 to 2,400 maximum side.
Ravi, by now, I would want to say thank you so much for joining us on this edition of Ask Profit, Ravi and Lancelot, and being such great experts in answering all our viewer queries. And viewers, thank you so much for joining us. Like always, you can continue to send in your queries on WhatsApp as well as on the numbers flashing on your screen. We will be back with more news and updates. Stay tuned to NDTV Profit.
सुना उसके बाद मेरा पहला एक्रोनिम निकाला मैंने, वो था RRR, रिस्पॉन्सिबल, रिफॉर्मिस्ट, और मैंने कहा रिवॉल्यूशनरी। हाउ डिड यू अराइव एट दिस नंबर ऑफ 12 लाख रुपीस?
हमें लगता है टैक्स पेयर उस लेवल नंबर से टैक्स भर रहा है, क्या उनको हम कुछ कर सकते हैं?
प्राइवेट सेक्टर कैपेक्स अभी तक वो इन्वेस्ट क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं, जबकि आपका इकोनॉमिक सर्वे ही बताता है कि वो कैश पाइल पे बैठे हुए हैं।
अगर कंजम्पशन बढ़ता और उसके तहत लगता है कि ग्रेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट का पॉसिबिलिटी है, वो भी अच्छा ट्रिगर हो सकता है।
एआई बहुत तेजी से आ रहा है, तो जॉब के चैलेंजेस होंगे, स्किल के चैलेंज पहले से हैं, तो जो ट्रांजिशन पीरियड का स्ट्रगल है, नौकरी मुझे अभी चाहिए।
पूरे साल का एक्सपोजर दिलाने के लिए हम इंटर्नशिप प्रोग्राम ले आए, और इसके साथ साथ इस बजट में भी ट्रेनिंग फॉर एआई, इसके लिए सेंटर्स बनाए हैं।
Tax regime for individual. In fact, there has been discussion on how to sort of reduce the tax rate.
I am now happy to announce that there will be no income tax payable up to income of 12 lakh rupees.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know your company, powered by NDTV Profit's research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers. Know your company at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, only on NDTV Profit.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know your company, powered by NDTV Profit's research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers. Know your company at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, only on NDTV Profit.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Government is considering to increase the custom duty on the imported finished goods ranging from consumer electronics to medical devices.